If you are here just for the battles, check the description below for timestamps. Right now I'm going to be going over this team. This is the team created by Rajan that just won the Indianapolis Regionals a couple weeks back. And this, I don't know if the exact EVs are here, but if you want to use this team, I always gotta point the other, Lord Almighty. There we go. The rental code is on the other side. I'll probably also post the rental code in the description so you can just copy paste whatever you want to do. But let's talk about the team. So this is a Miraidon team. Going into the Indianapolis Regional, there weren't a lot of Miraidons being used. It was kind of all about Calyrex. And Rajan also goes over this in a video with CK49. I'll link that in the description as well. It's a really cool video. I 100% recommend checking it out if you want to use this team. I'll probably touch on a couple points that he talks about with the team, but if you want a much better breakdown and you kind of want his thought process and how to build, and they also have Dr. Aaron Trailer as well, who he had a similar team, except instead of having the Ursa Luna, I believe it was a Ditto instead, or maybe it was Ogre Pawn instead of it was a Ditto instead of Ogre Pawn, I believe, but that doesn't matter. This is the team. So the biggest thing, the core four are the Whimsicott, Miraidon, Farigiraf, and Ursa Luna. I found actually that I didn't bring Ursa Luna to as many matches. I kind of swapped it out for Incineroar a lot of the time. It was very nice having the Intimidates, having the knockoffs. Being able to knock off most of the restricted items is just absolutely amazing. But the biggest thing about this team is trying to get positive damage trades with Miraidon. Choice Specs Volt Switch is one of the best moves. It's so strong. In that video with CK49, I believe that's the correct channel name. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It will be linked though, don't worry, it is linked. Rajan was saying that Electro Drift actually was the worst move on the Miraidon, even though that is Miraidon's signature move. The biggest thing was that Volt Switch allowed you to deal massive damage. It can one-shot, if you Tera Electric, you can one-shot almost any Incineroar. I think Assault Vest Incineroars survive, otherwise you absolutely annihilate everything. And then of course the Draco Meteor for just massive amounts of staff dragon damage, and Discharge. We all saw how good Discharge was during the regional, but using this team, Discharge was absolutely amazing. It's also really cool if you don't go with the Tera Electric on Miraidon, you can Tera Ground with Farigiraf and be able to kind of discharge safely next to Farigiraf. Of course you can discharge safely next to Ursa Luna, and you can discharge pretty safe next to Ensign and Whimsicott if you do Tera Ensign. I found myself actually Terraing Ensign quite a bit against Kyogre teams, but it's a super fun team. I really enjoyed playing it. Whimsicott with Encore is an absolute beast. But yeah, the biggest takeaway and kind of the biggest note that Rajan also mentions in the other video is that Miraidon wants to get those positive damage trades, basically wants to get in, get some Volt Switches, get some massive damage, and then you can pivot into more of a defensive mon. You can pivot into something that will take, no damage if you swap an Ursa Luna to an electric attack, or swap into Incineroar, not take a lot of damage, and can kind of position your board very well. So without further ado, let's get into the matches. So this is a Miraidon mirror, well, a little bit, they have a Chi-Yu and a Tornadus and an Iron Hands instead of our Ensign, Ogre, and Whimsicott. So I definitely want to have Farigiraf just to block Iron Hands. Now, I don't know if this is going to be Specs Miraidon, right? We don't know if it's going to be Specs Miraidon or if it's going to be maybe like Covert Cloak or a Life Orb. I would be very surprised if it was anything but a Choice Specs Miraidon. Personally, I like the look of Whimsicott Miraidon. Now, the biggest thing here is that, we're probably going to be seeing an Iron Hands Miraidon lead, or some type of like Tornadus Iron Hands with the ability for them to swap out one of them into that Ursa Luna. I do kind of like the look of Ursa Luna just in this matchup. I think if I could have speed control so that Ursa Luna could outspeed, get some super effective on Chi-Yu on Miraidon. I'm not sure if they would bring Chi-Yu. I want to bring the Incineroar for Fake Out Pressure. I like Knockoff. I know I said I liked Farigiraf at the beginning just in case they try to go for Trick Room, but because Helping Hand discharges, Helping Hand Volt Switches, those are all so good that, you know, I love that damage, but unfortunately it looks like we're going to be doing a little bit more of, okay, so Miraidon Chi-Yu. Ooh. So, here's what I'm worried about, right? So I could very well see them going for just like a Volt Switch Heat Wave or a Draco Meteor. So I definitely want to Volt Switch myself. The question is who do I want to Volt Switch into? Because you could just read, okay, let me swap out the Chi-Yu and bring in Ursaluna if they have it in the back. And then, so I kind of almost want to Volt Switch into the Miraidon just to cover so that we don't immediately lose our Miraidon. But, hey, big plays. Big, you know what? Let's call their bluff that they... Let's call their bluff that they don't have. Okay. Ooh, swapping out Miraidon into Iron Hands. Okay, okay. So if they do a double swap, that, oh, they're going for a Tera. Imagine if this is like Tera Ground on the Chi-Yu. Why? Why is this Tera Ground? If this is Tera Ground Tera Blast, that is just absolutely hysterical. Why? I don't know. That's something that you can do, though. I mean, I guess that's one way of countering the mirror matchup. This will probably just one-shot. Because I bet you that's Specs. Okay, well... wowza. Wowza. I'm glad I didn't Tera Miraidon then. That is definitely one way to keep through it. So I'm expecting so we're gonna be faster. So I could honestly, I kind of suspect to see I almost kind of expect to see a swap. Okay, that was not the swap I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see the Chi-Yu get swapped out into the Farigiraf. Okay, into the Farigiraf, that's fine. So we know they're 4. I wasn't worried about fake outs because I'm thinking that Iron Hands is not going to fake out, right? Oh, they're going for the Electric Seed, okay. But like, you know, they're not going to go, ooh, nice crit. Oh, Chi-Yu is still faster. I should have Terra'd there. Yeah, I think we lose, actually, because I didn't go for the Tera. We do survive. Let's see, this probably is Choice Specs, right? Choice Scarf. That's why you're faster. Okay. I guess maybe I should have read that it was Choice Scarf there. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. Choice Scarf Chi-Yu. Wow. That's neat. Choice Scarf Tera Blast Tera Ground Chi-Yu. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? So, here's the question, right? You probably go for the fake out with Iron Hands. I feel like I want to bring in my Ursaluna, because... So I cannot go for an Encore with Farigiraf on the board. Honestly, you're probably going to be going for a... I don't know. I don't know what you're going to be going for with Farigiraf. But I want to bring in Ursaluna as a way to maybe try to... Wow, that's still a lot of damage. Because this is going to be AV, Iron Hands. That is some good damage. And you go for the Trick Room. Okay, that's perfect for us. Because we have one more turn of Tailwind. And... yeah, we have one more turn of Tailwind. So I can just go for the double Protect. And well, you know what they could do here is they could absolutely go for another Trick Room to re-swap. But I was thinking, like, you probably go for a Fake Out, right? Like, you go for a Fake Out with the Iron Hand. So whatever Farigiraf wants to go to, that's not a big deal. Unless it went into, you know, one of our... Okay. So it goes for the Drain Punch. So now the question... So the biggest problem here is that... Ursaluna is it's a very speedy Ursaluna, and this is probably a super slow Iron Hands. So I'm super worried about I'm super worried about just getting one shot by the Iron Hands. I'm very worried about that, and also that it is going to be slower than us outside of Trick Room, so it's going to be faster than us in Trick Room. Oh, it's Clear Amulet. I just didn't see that, I think, when I first swapped in Incineroar. I don't think I saw that. So it's not going to get a lot back. So I need to read. Though it's going to be a roll if we get the knockout into Incineroar. If we get the knockout with this Moonblast or not. Nay, that's really good for us. Oh, crit. Man, we are getting the crits. We are really getting the crits here, because I got the crit Moonblast. So honestly, I kind of see a Protect Trick Room from this Farigiraf. But do we think that the Miraidon is Specs or not? Right? Like, what do we expect from this Miraidon? And I feel like it's probably Specs. So the question is, honestly, I want to Earth Power here because I don't want to Tera yet. See, I'm so worried if this is not a choice item Miraidon, we're just gonna be able to, you know, we're just, so I'm gonna spread my damage. I'm so worried that, oh my gosh, there was no Protect. Okay. I should have doubled. Or we just get the knockout. Holy lord, man. Whew. I mean, I guess it is a super effective hit. I was just, I wasn't sure if it was going to be Specs or not. That was the only thing, is I wasn't sure if it was going to be Specs. So I think what we do here is we can Blood Moon. I'm trying to think. So, another crit is going to defeat us. I almost want to Protect. Oh, but there's only one more turn of Trick Room. You know what? Let's do this, actually. Let me go for the Protect. Let me go for the double Protect here, and then I'm going to go for the Tailwind. I'm going to go for the Tailwind Blood Moon. And maybe I go for the Tera Normal too. Because I don't want to lose to a Psyshock crit, is the thing. I don't want to lose to a Psyshock crit, because I don't think Whimsicott is going to be able to do enough damage. So then we can Tera Normal Blood Moon, and we can go for the Tailwind here. And then that should, okay, battle was canceled. We somehow pulled that back from a Tera, like, that was probably the worst turn I ever could have had. Somehow, like, the worst first turn of all time, and we somehow pulled it back. Yeah, I mean, I think what we did was we really tried to pivot well. I think the turn that we swapped in the Ursaluna into the Iron Hands... into the Iron Hands Fake Out when Farigiraf went for Trick Room, that was the turn that we won. And then bringing out the Incineroar so that the Drain Punch didn't heal a whole lot, and going for that second Moonblast made it to where we were able to, you know, kind of claim, because Iron Hands really was the issue, right? I wasn't worried about the Farigiraf, because the Farigiraf was just using Psyshock, wasn't doing a lot of damage. So I think prioritizing that Iron Hands was absolutely necessary. And we are so unbelievably lucky that it was not Assault Vest, because I guarantee if that was an Assault Vest Iron Hands, I do not think we would have won that match. I don't think we would have. But that was a fantastic game. Let's see if we find another opponent. Another Miraidon matchup. This is definitely a lot more interesting, though. With Whimsicott and Urshifu. I wonder if we see any Scarfs. You know, I wonder if we see Scarf Urshifu or not. So, I honestly would like to just lead Whimsicott Miraidon. I do want to have my own Farigiraf in back because I do... do we like Farigiraf, though? The reason I like Farigiraf is I like the thought of being able to not get hit with Aqua Jets, not get hit with Fake Outs, and if they lead their own Ensign Miraidon, I don't think you do, but if you do lead Ensign Miraidon or Ensign Whimsicott, then I can just Tera Electric and go for the nuke. So, as long as it's not AV. I don't see why it wouldn't be AV, to be honest with you. It looks like it would be AV Ensign on that team. I don't know what else you would put AV on, right? Like, it could also be Goggles, but I feel like you might put Goggles... Well, it could be AV or Goggles. We'll find out, though, if they lead. I do feel like we'll see a Miraidon Whimsicott lead. And I'll probably want to Tera Electric no matter what, because if it is a Miraidon lead, we don't know. So I have a modest Miraidon, but if this is a timid Miraidon, then we lose the speed tie always, right? We always lose that speed tie. So it is this. Okay, so that's exactly why I wanted to bring Farigiraf in the back, right? Is because they're probably thinking like, oh, you know, you're just gonna set up, set up Tailwind. So the Ensign is probably gonna be faking out our Miraidon slot. My first turn is just swapping in Farigiraf and going for a Tera Electric Volt Switch. We will find out if this is AV or not. Now, they could Tera themselves. They could Tera and go for, you know, the Grass Tera on Incineroar to take even less damage, but we'll see kind of what they go for. I would be unbelievably surprised if it's a Tera Ground. if it's a Tera Ground, then okay, but that's also why we're tearing Electric, right? If they go for a Draco Meteor or a Dragon Pulse, Draco Meteor has a chance to miss, but we remove our super effective damage from a Draco Meteor or a Dragon Pulse by going for the Tera. So I still feel pretty okay if the Incineroar is Tera Ground, which would be weird because I feel like, yeah, it helps you in your mirror matchup against a Miraidon, but it doesn't help you against Kyogre, it doesn't help you against Calyrex Ice, so I'd be very surprised. We will also see the speed if we speed tie the opposing Miraidon at all. Okay, we do see a Tera, so this is kind of neat. And it is the Miraidon. This is going for... Okay, so it's an Electric Tera as well. Oh, man, if this is faster and then it goes for, like, an Electro Drift into our... Let's see. Okay, so that's probably a speed type, but we know that it is a modest. We know that it's modest. Is that Focus Sash? And then... Or is that just... It's just lived that. I feel like now we bring in Whimsicott for our own Sash, for whatever it's gonna hit us with. That's just a... oh, it goes for the Draco. Nice. This is a fantastic play for us. So, here's the thing, right? We now know... Okay, so we don't know if it's going to be a choice item, but we do know that it at least... We took no damage. The question is, right, what is this Incineroar going to go for? And to be honest with you, I would personally like to go for the Foul Play into the Incineroar slot, because we have speed control. Now, the big thing is that they could go... They could swap out the Incineroar for, say... Yeah, let's go for the Tailwind. Let's go. I still want to... Okay, so we see no swap. So this could be just a U-turn coming out from this Incineroar. Goes for the Draco Meteor. We should eat that. We do not eat that at all. Wow. Okay. I honestly thought that we would be able to survive that, but we do not. That is insane damage. Holy lord, that is insane damage. They don't have any ground Pokemon in back, though, so we could go for discharges, right? Oh, and you knock yourself out. That's at least what is nice, is you do knock yourself out with recoil. That is pretty cool. It is also... So we have this speed. I kind of like the idea of... Let's see what Pokemon they bring out here. But I almost like the idea of going for another Volt Switch and bringing in our own... Bringing in Incineroar. But we'll see. We'll see. They are at -2, so I'm not as worried about this Miraidon. Being at -2, I'm still kind of surprised. I guess I really am counting out how much damage Miraidon does, because it's a monster. Okay, so we do see the Ogerpon. Ooh, I don't... You know what? I kind of like the idea, because I feel like Ogerpon could just go for a Spiky Shield, and then Miraidon swaps out. So I kind of like the idea of going for a Discharge here, and then going for a Protect. We keep the Whimsicott around, and because you're going to swap your Miraidon, right? And you can't Tera. You do not swap Miraidon. Wow. Okay, well, we just made a huge mistake. Goes for the Follow Me. I think I'm okay with this, to be honest with you. Because there's no way that you're able to... you know, knock out my, at least, unless you crit. I guess a crit here would probably knock out. We deal half damage to the Miraidon, so another Discharge actually would just clean up this game, which is really cool. So Draco Meteor at -2, still gonna do a lot of damage, but we survive. So that is awesome. It's definitely Specs. It is definitely a Choice Specs Miraidon. So, here's the issue, right? The issue is that... let me see what's going on. The issue is that this is Water Urshifu, so you can always do an Aqua Jet. And with an Aqua Jet, I feel like at this point what I want to do is I want to swap in Incineroar, right? I don't care if it takes a ton of damage. And then I want to just Moonblast Urshifu. You could read this and you could go for, you know, the Aqua Jet into the Whimsicott, and then you could go for the Draco Meteor into the Miraidon slot. But I don't want to take... an Aqua Jet, is really what it is, right? I don't want to take an Aqua Jet. And I want to try it to at least get some damage down onto... okay, so there was no Aqua Jet. What? Was that a Mystic Water? I mean, oh wait, also, now we just win, actually. We just win outright, because you can't deal any damage to my... Whimsicott. But, wow, I am very surprised we did not see an Aqua Jet there. That is, maybe it didn't have one? It could have been Mystic... I have no clue. Honestly, I have no clue on what move they clicked. Maybe they were expecting the Incineroar switch in, so what they were hoping for was that they would be faster with Incineroar, do a close combat, knock out the Incin, and then... I don't know. I don't know, but I think... I don't know if we played that perfectly, you know, as well as we could have, but I think we did a pretty good job. I didn't like the inboard state. I think the inboard state was a little scary, but I think overall it was a pretty good match. I think there's stuff we could learn from it, but I'm really happy with the way we played. And honestly, having that Miraidon locked into Draco Meteor, not being able to deal any damage to Whimsicott, was fantastic. That was so freaking nice. So let's see what the next battle looks like. Shadow Rider Calyrex with Clefairy. Oh man, this is going to be tough. We're definitely going to be seeing the Minchao. We're going to be seeing Minchao. We're going to be seeing Rillaboom, and we're going to be seeing Shadow Rider. So, do we expect to see the Clefairy as well? Is the real question. Now, I expect to see the Rillaboom, probably like Rillaboom Shadow Rider right out the bat. And so I almost like the idea of leading with Farigiraf and Miraidon, to be completely honest with you. Because the reason why is that, yes, we won't have speed control, and that could be a little scary. But what's going to be really cool is the fact that I can immediately pressure with foul plays into the Calyrex. And you cannot fake me out. I can Volt Switch, and we can kind of just get some good damage. I do think we need speed control. I think Whimsicott would be very nice. And I like the idea of Incineroar. I don't like Cornerstone because I don't think we're going to be seeing Zapdos. If we do, I stand corrected. I also wonder, does Zapdos get Volt Absorb? Is something that I should probably know, right? I don't know if it's Pressure or Volt Absorb. I'm going to do a quick little check to see, because that could be very important. Let's take a look. Zapdos. Cerebi. Give me whether or not it gets Volt Absorb. Especially if we see... Okay. So... that might be as good as it could be. So... no, Pressure and Static. Okay. So, you cannot fake us out with me and Xiao. Quick Guard really doesn't do anything. I could very well see... you know, I mean, do you go for a Wide Guard? I'd be so surprised if you went for a Wide Guard here. I want to go for a Foul Play, and then I want to go for a Tera Electric Volt Switch into the Mian Xiao itself. Because I think what this does is that this covers if we see a Protect come out from the Shadow Rider. This covers a... And then the Foul Play, what's really nice about that, right, is that, so Mian Xiao kind of has to think, okay, well, do I want to do Wide Guard, or do I want to do like a close combat, right? We have a +1. Ooh, let's see who is brought in. Probably Rillaboom. And then we'll see maybe if there's a Protect. So yeah, so there is the Rillaboom. We'll get a little bit of damage, but we can bring in our own Incineroar here. So I like that. We'll be able to position pretty well. You go for a Tera. Let's see if it's going to be a Tera Fairy. Because this could be a Tera Fairy variant with the Draining Kiss. It is a Tera Ground Shadow Rider, so I'm very glad we did not target that. Foul Play, unfortunately, though, is no longer super effective. So I don't know how much it does. I know it was a 2-hit KO for most Shadow Riders with, while it, you know, like a Ghost Tera, or it's just in its Ghost form. But I'm very glad we targeted around. Oh my gosh, it is Tera Blast. So everybody just has tech against Miraidon here. It seems like... So it has the Grim Neigh boost. I don't know what we're doing here. This is gonna be tough. I do not like that. Oh boy. Okay. And so it is the Life Orb variant. We get the Foul Play off. That does literally no damage. Yeah. Okay. We are going to be playing from behind. Oh boy. Oh boy. What do we do here? So you can't fake us out. Do we expect a Wood Hammer? I do not want to take another... I do not want to take another Tera Blast, so I'm going to go for the Fake Out, and then I'm going to bring in Whimsicott, expecting them not to go for a Fake Out. Or sorry, not to go for a... yeah, for a Fake Out, because they just brought in their... Oh, Rillaboom. Okay, so you swap out there. Oh, is it... so it's going to be Clefairy. Okay, cool, cool, cool. We need speed control. At this point, we have to bring speed control. I have to figure out a way to, you know, get Tailwind up and to just start getting damage. Now, man, that is unfortunate. Okay, it goes for the Protect. See, I'm honestly okay with that because it's not like we were really going to be going for anything. So now what's nice is I can knock off the Life Orb. I don't think that's really going to matter, though, because it's going to just deal so much damage. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's go for the Encore, and then I'm going to go for the knockoff into the Clefairy to get rid of the Eviolite. That's going to be super annoying to deal with. So with the Encore going into the Protect, I mean, if it gets the double protect, cool, but it's not going to be able to set up. It's not going to be able to go for anything, so it's going to have to swap out, right? Which is going to be super nice for us to try and bring back. Okay, so they swap out. That's perfect. That's fine. That also stalls a turn for us, so we don't have to lose a... Okay, wow, they're just reading exactly where I'm going into. So... This Mienshao, what if... Mienshao is what? Psychic... Fighting? Or is it... No, it's just pure fighting. Okay. So, what if we go for... And let's bring in Farigiraf, because I don't want to lose Incineroar, right? I don't want to lose Incineroar, even though Incineroar probably is going to be our ticket. Oh, what do we do here? Losing Farigiraf, or losing Miraidon that early sucks. I need to somehow start getting some damage on the board more than just a little baby foul play. Oh, I don't know. We did lose the +1, though. By switching out Farigiraf, we do lose the +1, but I'm hoping that we see, like, a fake out or some type of priority move from this Mienshao. Oh, nope. It is just a helping hand. That is not a good look. That is really not a good look. Yeah, and it takes it down to its sash, I'm assuming. Oh, is this going to be close combat? Oh, triple Axel. Dealing 40... Oh, but you got the crit. Oh, wait, no, it does... No, never mind, never mind. Nope, it does more damage. Okay, yeah, no, now we just straight up lose. I guess we were hoping for a miss. That's kind of the only thing that we could have played for. I did not play this game well. We just would have hoped for a miss. No, because triple Axel increases damage as it goes. So I should have just set up Tailwind there, to be honest with you. I was worried about a... So, okay, so here's the question, right? Does Mienshao swap out this turn, right? Do we see a swap from Mienshao? Because if we do, what if we just double? What if we just double here? Now, if it goes for a protect, I'm going to be so sad. But let's just double, because whatever you go for, you know, we have to turn the, you know, we have to turn it back in our favor somehow, right? We have to somehow start making reads and start doing stuff. So, nice little knockoff. Hey, we got a crit. That's helpful. Okay, so it was AV. We get a good normal boosted Tera Blast here. That's not enough to really get us anywhere. Now, so the question is, right, so you're AV, so I could go for a Flare Blitz here. Now, you're probably going to be faster, right? Do I go for a Trick Room? I think we go for a Trick Room, because I feel like Incineroar is going to be slower, and so I don't think... I mean, we could be wrong, but I don't think a Wood Hammer... Okay, that's a good follow me, fair enough. This, yeah, Wood Hammer, I don't think it'll knock out. Not even close, which is really good for us. So we're going to go for the Flare Blitz. If they didn't go for the follow me, you know, that's fine. And then, yeah, I mean, we have to get the Trick Room up somehow, right? We have to get the Trick Room. This is the only way we claw it back in our favor. So here's the question, right? Do we see the Clefairy going for Protect? I don't think so. I think it's going to go for... So the reason I'm going for the knockoff is if the Clefairy goes for a follow me, it's just going to redirect everything into the Clefairy anyways, right? So we're going to knock off the Eviolite. The biggest thing, though, is that if they go for the Protect C, I want to make it to where I'm able to deal some damage at least. And so this knockoff should, even though there was the crit, it still gets the knockout. That's what we needed, right? Like, we needed to be able to take this knockout to get somewhere, to start moving forward with it. Protecting the Clefairy there was dumb. I don't know why you would do that. I feel like you just follow me. Unless you want the Friend Guard up for when Calyrex is up, right? But this is the only way, because we're going to see the Mienshao right here. We see the Calyrex right here. So we could very well see... Ooh. Do we see a Protect, right? So how many turns left of Trick Room do we have? We have 3 turns of Trick Room left. Now, we could very well see, like, a Protect come out. I kind of expect a Protect, but I'm still going to Tera Blast. So, basically, what I'm reading for here is that I don't think you're going to be able to beat it. Oh, I mean, a Tera Blast with the Tera Ground would knock us out, but I expect you to Protect. You're not going to... You could double Protect with the Clefairy. I don't know what Clefairy really gets. Maybe Sing or something. Okay, so it just goes for the Follow Me. Okay, fair enough. I was thinking, you know, if we see a Protect trying to stall, that's really the only thing that could go against us right now, right? Gets rid of the Eviolite, so now, as long as we survive this next turn, I don't think we will, but we are AV? Oh. Okay, okay. I mean, that makes sense, though, going around the Incineroar. And now you're at +1. Yeah, I just don't think we can do it, right? Let's go. I mean, because, yeah, you're just going to Tera Blast us. You know, we're forcing them to, you know, use the Follow Me. A knockoff would not knock out the Clefairy, right? So that's why I have to go for the Flare Blitz. At least I don't think a knockoff would knock out the Clefairy. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it could. But, you know, also the recoil is minimal, so we do see a Tera Blast here. You're at +1. Yeah, +1. I was like, maybe, but it's super effective. You get the stab bonus. So, yeah, it makes sense. I think, you know, I didn't realize that it was going to be Tera Ground, Calyrex, Calyrider. I think, you know, that was really cool. You know, it was faster than us. I think, you know, what we could have done, right, would be leading the Whimsicott to get the speed control up immediately. I think that was kind of the biggest issue, was that we didn't get the speed control, so Shadow Rider was faster than us and just immediately takes, you know, it takes our Tera and takes the knockout. I don't think we should have Terra'd as well. Even if we, you know, the lead that we had, I shouldn't have Terra'd because that wasted our Tera. Then Incineroar would have had a much easier time in that in-game where, you know, it forces you to, you know, to single target down the Farigiraf, and then, you know, my Incineroar is able to play around a little bit more. Being Tera Grass, you don't want to, you know, Tera Blast it. So, I should have swapped out the leads. Definitely should have just been Whimsicott and Miraidon. Then I would have had the speed control. We would have been able to get, you know, a good knockout. And then I could have just hard swapped if I needed to. But yeah, otherwise, you know, some of the calls where the Clefairy was protecting, I think we probably could have played the middle game a little bit better. But overall, I would say for how bad that first turn went, not knowing what, you know, your opponent has, because this is, of course, closed team sheets, I would say that bringing it to, you know, almost... Actually, no, yeah, we brought it to a 2-0, right? We brought it to where they just beat us by 2 Pokemon. It's not the worst. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And if you made it this far and you like the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.